Welcome. Welcome to the Radio Toons podcast. How's it going, guys? I'm Steve.
I'm Ernie.
And we are your hosts. It's the holiday season. This podcast might be a little bit shorter just because we're been pretty busy with all sorts of holiday crap.
Yeah, you know what? I do want to say one thing about that.
What?
We went to the Brea Mall this weekend.
Did you?
And I gotta say, I don't know if it's just my perspective, but like the last maybe 2 years, I've seen less and less people at the mall around this time.
Really?
Yeah, because like for example, 2 years ago when we went to the mall, I was like, oh my gosh, we're not gonna find parking. So what we ended up doing is I had my car washed. In that little, there's like in the parking structure, there's a place where you can wash your car, and that gets you free parking, obviously. Okay. But then the second time we came around, I was like, the valet's pretty full, but it's still open. And then this time, Cindy, myself, and the baby went, no problem. Valeted the car, no problem finding parking spot.
Maybe people are just doing more online shopping now?
I think that's the case. I think that's what's going on. I think more things are being shipped than anything else.
Either that or like Black Friday. It seems like a lot more streamlined now.
You think so?
Yeah, because like I remember we went to Target like the day of Black Friday.
Was that when you went with me?
Yeah.
Okay, but we went like at what?
We went like in the afternoon.
Yeah, when everything was done.
And no, but I was telling you, there were still deals.
Yeah,
like I got Spider-Man: Homecoming. I got Baby Driver. They were both $9 on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That Stranger Things season 1 was $10.
Yeah, that's right.
There was all sorts of fucking deals. So I don't know if maybe people just picked up their gifts like on Black Friday or I don't know.
I don't know. It just seemed like it was.
I'll tell you this though, the week before Christmas, I bet it's still gonna be packed. You know,
I'm sure it will be, but I don't know. I feel like this weekend was the weekend a lot of people go to start like, avoiding all the crowds and stuff.
Right.
And it just didn't feel as full. Apple Store was packed, obviously.
Why?
Because people are getting their like stuff engraved and whatnot, but you can order all that stuff online. I see. That's what I don't get. Like you can order it and have it shipped to the Apple Store.
I heard on Black Friday, Apple Store was packed, but there was no deals.
No, there's absolutely no deals. I don't understand why people were there.
It's just like this club or something that people like to hang out in.
I think so. I think because a lot of times I see people in there and they're just like looking at the watches.
Okay.
It's like all this stuff you can buy online. It's
check out all this shit that I can't afford. So weird.
There was a huge line for Santa, but aside from that, it's not that bad. And I had the carriage with me, and that thing is getting around the mall with that. You always have to tell people, "Excuse me."
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Nah, we had a great time. It was nice.
That's cool. Nice.
But I don't know. Maybe that means less brick and mortar and more online ordering.
Maybe people just don't give a shit. People aren't.
That's just.
People aren't in a giving mood anymore.
You're not starting this podcast really in an upbeat manner.
Yeah. You know what? Some motherfucker stole our lights. Some guy came.
Oh my gosh!
Some guy came into our yard and stole. We had one of those things that like those fucking lights that like shines onto your house.
Oh my god!
Somebody just stole. You know what? Though I have a suspicion that it was just some crazy like teenage kid.
Of course it is, but like
because they left the cord.
Yeah, so they just literally snagged it and like ran.
They just took like the actual piece.
I actually bet you we have it on film.
So this asshole made it so that we can't use it, and neither can he. No one gets it. He said.
Idiot.
He said, if I can't have the Christmas spirit,
then
no one can.
Oh my god.
But yeah, sorry to start off on such a sour note. But
some of the stuff that happened this week.
Yeah, we've been doing. Some video game stuff is tying into Christmas. Animal Crossing got an update that had like all sorts of Christmas stuff.
Yeah, that's been fun.
And I've been playing it. I finally got a Christmas hat. I didn't know how to get candy canes at first, so it was
you just play the game.
Yeah, you just do normal shit. But that Christmas tree, dude, that is like
that's really expensive.
Yeah,
and I have to have it, and I don't know why.
That is like the most coveted item.
Yeah, because everybody got the hat away.
But I ended up like I told you I've actually been playing it and enjoying it. I built like a whole rock band set. Like I have like a drum set, I have the guitar.
Yeah, the amp.
I have the effects mixer. I have 2 amps and I have 2 speakers. Yeah.
You know what's gonna piss you off though? You're gonna have to start banking that stuff.
What do you mean?
Because when other animals come up to you, they're like, "Man, I wish you had this in your house," and you're like, "Oh,
you know what? You know what's kind of cool about that though is that if you want them to like come over, you can have the game rearrange your furniture automatically, and then put it back afterwards.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So it's not that bad.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, I've been enjoying that, and also Overwatch just started their
winter event. Yeah, that's right.
Which it's just pretty cool. I mean, the skins from last year are cheaper, which is nice. Some of the newer skins are okay. People are really hyping up this one that Hanzo has, but I fucking do not
really?
like how it looks.
The one I saw the most, or the one that I saw people online, they were just like, "Ooh, that's cool." Was Anna's.
Anna's is cool. Anna's is like a winter owl kind of thing.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh, I'm an Anna main now." I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
And they have this mode. They brought back May's snowball fight thing, but now they have like it's almost like Friday the 13th, the game.
How so?
Okay, so it's called Yeti Hunter.
Okay.
And you're I think 5 or 6 Mays. You're 5 Mays versus 1 Yeti, which is Winston.
Okay.
And he can go around and he has to collect these meats, these like steaks.
Okay.
Once he gets 4, he gets all super powerful and he can kill you.
Okay, so you want to stop him?
Yeah, if he kills 5 people, then he wins.
Okay.
But he has like 5,000 lives, so it's just a pain in the ass to kind of kill him.
Okay, well, there you go.
It's whatever.
It's kind of fun, right?
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, like, I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's a little bit hard to make other modes with heroes that have like abilities like that. Maybe not. I don't know, because even Capture the Flag, when they did Capture the Flag, I was like, this is a little bit jank. But whatever. Free update. They gave you some new modes. Why not? You know.
And the skins are fun.
Yeah, and the skins are.
And the new like little like I saw some of the. I don't know what they're called, but like the ending play of the game things. There's a couple where like Hanzo has a snowball to the face.
Oh, that's actually the main menu.
There you go. Yeah.
It's just.
So those have been fun. I mean, they always have a lot of fun with how they dress up the whole.
Yeah, Blizzard's really good at selling worlds, if that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've also been playing the Zelda DLC.
Which I've been really enjoying.
Yeah.
The horse brittle thing was so cool, and I'm so grateful that they added that because I feel like I've been missing out on the whole horse thing.
You're talking about some armor you put on your horse?
Yeah, it's the ancient brittle and saddle. For your horse, and basically whenever you whistle, it transports your horse to you. It just can't be in the stable.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so anytime you whistle, it comes right to you. You can ditch it and then, keep doing it. I absolutely love that, especially since I haven't finished the game. But there's just been a lot of cool stuff to do, and finding these little spots and doing all these new little adventures. It adds not cutscenes, but new dialogue to a lot of the people. So, for example, I went to do Rivaldi's.
There is cutscenes though, right?
There are cutscenes.
It just takes long to get to them.
I think that's your reward.
Okay, because we've been playing for a while. Even we're playing on the show right now. We're playing on Toons, and we've gotten pretty far. Or I thought we got pretty far, and there's no cutscenes so.
No, because this, I believe the way it works, and this is just from what I've been playing. The first part of it is the trial, which is pretty cool, but it's definitely passable. But the next part is like you're trying to do the last trial that the Guardians did. So you're trying to repeat their trial to become a Guardian.
Oh, okay.
And at the end, you'll get a new cutscene that like talks about Rivaldi's stuff.
I get you.
Yeah. So I think that's the reward for each trial. Because we saw the trailer together, and I was like, that I've never seen before. Yeah. There were some sections where I was like, that I've never seen. I've
yet to see Zelda with the dog.
Yeah, that too.
I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah, I did see that.
Still hasn't come up.
It's been cool too. The Ganon armor is really fun. It's a sneaking suit, by the way, which doesn't make any sense, but it looks really cool.
What do you mean it's a sneaking suit?
Well, it's like it brings up your stealth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
it looked awesome.
And it gives when you put the armor on, it gives that. I don't know what you would call it, but like the Ganon stance, where it looks like his shoulders are kind of popped up.
Oh, okay.
And he's got that like 6-pack.
All right.
It looks like a variation off the N64 one.
It's supposed to be Phantom Ganon, right?
I don't know.
You remember the Phantom Ganon in the Forest Temple that has like a skull for a mask?
Oh, then yes,
I think it does look like that one. Yeah,
it does because it has like long horns going back too. It looks
that's cool. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
And when everybody, just like with the Link Dark Armor, it's like they go, huh!
Oh, they look at you.
Yeah, they freak them out.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to locate the other ones too. But like that's as far as I got because Vivaldi's trial is pretty hard. You have to do the flight thing, but you have to destroy all of them, all the targets in the little flight area.
Okay.
You have to destroy them all to impress the kid, and then you could do the 4 targets trial. Okay. You have to do like a lot of crazy stuff.
You have to do a lot of shit, basically. I got you.
But it's varied. It's not just destroy that guy, do this, do that. Like, they vary.
So it's a couple hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a couple of hours.
Because I honestly thought like those 4 temples that we played together.
You thought that was it?
I thought that was going to be it, yeah.
No. They always pack it full of stuff. Like, we still haven't finished the second part, or part 2 and 3 of the Master Sword trial either.
I finished the second one. The third one I haven't finished. But that one honestly is like, that. If that's really it, it's pretty short, you know?
I guess.
Okay. But yeah, so that's what we've been playing lately. We did watch a movie this week, too.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they just
Volume 2.
They just put that on Netflix, and I honestly had zero interest in this movie. I mean, I tend to watch Marvel stuff, not always in theaters, but if they throw it up on Netflix, I'll watch it, and it's like, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm like a Marvel fanboy, but I tend to like it. They've made pretty good stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny too. I was watching Red Letter Media's review of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I guess they got called Marvel shills at one point. And
because all the DC, like if you've seen any of the other DC reviews, like for example, Man of Steel,
they shit on it.
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Not one.
Suicide
I didn't
Squad.
see the one. Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because
they did a 2-parter on it.
Yeah, because they sarcastically said like, yeah, we're Marvel shills. It's not like everything DC makes is complete crap, and Marvel knows like what they're doing.
And it's not even that Marvel is doing like these. All of the Marvel movies aren't blockbuster,
spectacular,
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
movies.
like I thought Ant-Man was like I think it's on the lower end of the spectrum, but I still liked it. You know.
Yeah,
like,
it's just I disagree. I actually like Ant-Man a lot, but I can see that not all the movies are 10 out of 10, especially like any of the Thor movies that I've watched. I don't.
You know, I
love them.
I really liked Doctor Strange when I first saw it, but the second time around, those Beyonce jokes with that one guy.
Oh yeah,
they got so fucking old. You watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah,
I watched Doctor Strange.
The humor in Doctor Strange was just so not like my thing.
But
that's
the thing is, they're still watchable. That's the thing is like I enjoy watching.
Yeah, they're
them.
entertaining. You know, they're big blockbuster movies. But what I was gonna say is that kind of goes into Guardians. Is Guardians of the Galaxy is very like humor based the whole time.
Right.
And I think it works really well. I was like I said, I didn't really have an interest in this movie because I saw the first one and I was like, okay, you know, it was fine. They're like the weirdos of the Marvel universe or whatever, right? But I started watching this one because I heard good stuff, and I was like, man, this is fucking cool. So one of the things I really liked about it was like the worlds and stuff. I don't remember the first one having such a big scale of like. They go to this planet where there's like gold people, which I was like, dude, that's like they look insane. And then they go to this other planet where there's like these yellow android like hooker bot things. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then that one guy Yondu is like blue, and I don't know. It was just all these like different species. And then Sylvester Stallone shows up. I'm getting
that's just so random.
Yeah, I'm getting like this vibe from like a Demolition Man kind of vibe, like a futurist. I think that's why I liked it because I was like, this is cool. This reminds me of like
I think that was a slight nod. You know the part where he goes like, "No, you broke the law." Like
he says something like that. Yeah,
he says something to that effect, and I was like, "That's Judge Dredd."
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, that sounds suspiciously. Like
but I think he said you broke our rule.
Yeah,
or something like
he
that.
Said something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, this movie's characters I think are the shining beacon of like hope.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're like the biggest part of the movie, basically.
Yeah, because I think all of them are defined pretty well. Like, you know who they are as you go through the movie, but it's done such a really good job at making sure their personalities come forth. Mm-hmm. Like, the first part of the movie is really action based, but then like the rest of it's character development until the very end.
That's what I think I liked about this movie. I wasn't really expecting it to be like I don't know, like the posters even, they make it look really flashy, you know. Mm-hmm. And it did have a fair bit of flashiness. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of like impressed with how much I was like, this raccoon and Yondu are having like a real conversation here, and they have like real feelings, and it's like, you know, like Chris Pratt and Gamora have like that thing going on, and then she has that thing with her sister too. I was like, wow, they're really.
And like, then Dax and Mantis.
They're really fleshing out like their character like stories and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, not so much Groot because he's just a little.
No, and that was one thing that I think came out around the same time. A lot of people said that I when I saw Tiny Groot, I thought, dude, they're gonna overuse that crap so much to sell toys, especially, and blah blah blah.
Especially the intro, right?
Yeah, the intro has like a little song and dance by Groot, and I was like, oh my gosh, this better not be the whole movie. And it really wasn't. They used him very sparingly.
It wasn't, and I actually think the intro might be one of the weakest parts because something about like how things were happening. This is like a weird example, but like the way Gamora tells like Drax to stop. She's literally like standing 2 feet away from him and holding her hand out. Yeah. And like she doesn't try to like hold him back or anything. She just like puts her hand, like she's not really trying to stop him.
Yeah.
That's kind of a nitpick. But
but I understand what you're saying. It's odd.
The intro was honestly just kind of like I don't know if I'm gonna like this movie, but you know, whatever. I've already strapped in for this 2-hour fucking ride. But yeah, like I said, to my surprise, very enjoyable movie. Even this guy Yondu, who I thought was like a worthless character in the first one, turns out to have like this kind of like fatherly bond with Star-Lord.
Well, they do focus on that a little bit in the first one because they show that he's grown up with Peter, and he's his reluctant father figure because he's like, Quill has a repertoire with him and everything, but he still does hate him because of the whole deal that, you know, he was supposed to take him to his father or something like that. Yeah. I don't know but he like stole him or something. Right. So I was like, okay, so he's like, he is his father, but he still resents him, blah, blah, blah.
So we can get into spoilers now, I think.
Well, before we get into that, because I don't want to spoil much of the movie. One thing I will say about the Guardians is what they have going for them is nobody knows. Like, nobody expects much out of them. Right. I think that's one big thing they have going for them.
That's exactly why I liked it, because I was like, what am I supposed to get from this movie? It doesn't look like one of these... It's not Captain America.
It's not Captain America, exactly. But the other thing it has going for it is it has a really strong identity. Because, for one, the music choice of that movie makes it stand out above all the other ones.
It does a really good job, yeah. I actually liked the music being incorporated into... Like... It's a little less subtle than like Baby Driver, where it's like timing stuff, the music, but like,
no, they pick really good songs because it's not anything. It's not like, for example, when they do a trailer for DC where it's like, where like, what was it? David Bowie's "Hero" was on the trailer. Like, that's a really heavy-handed song.
Yeah,
to put for that trailer. But Guardians has a way of putting a song that fits the mood, but the song's not necessarily about what's happening. You know what I mean? So they do a great job of that. The other thing they have going for them is they are, they're so unexpected that they can play with so much color. Like, that movie is full of colors.
It really, yeah. There's a lot of colors in it, and it's weird because it wasn't too loud or overbearing.
Right.
It still kind of fit with the tone of the movie. There was a lot of things in this film that I thought like they're making it work. You know, like you said, like the music being like kind of ironic with the scene.
Exactly.
I was still kind of like, this still feels like it fits the characters, and even like the humor. Like they would have like some kind of dramatic moment. And then there would be a bit of humor to kind of like keep it from being too serious. And I was like, it works with this movie so well because these are the kind of characters they are. They're like, they're not, you know, perfect clean Marvel people. They're like the freaks and geeks. They're
yeah, they're a mishmash, and that's what they try to incorporate with it being kind of a rainbow spectrum of colors. Like anytime they were fighting, anytime that stuff was happening, it always seemed to be the whole spectrum of colors were being used, and all the way down to everything being almost like I want to say like flare and fireworks, because like I don't remember it being so colorful in the first one, but in the second one definitely they had these moments where, like, for example, when Star-Lord is firing his gun, it looks more like sparks than it does just a straight shot.
I was noticing that too, and I didn't know if it was like, are they trying to make it look like his are more like, you know how Kylo Ren's, for example, lightsaber is a little more flary?
Yeah.
Like it's a little more like...
but didn't everything feel like more flare and less like, oh, this is dingy and technical and like almost looks like a Star Wars?
Yeah, I guess kind of, yeah.
And I only noticed that because there were certain key moments where, like, for example, things were exploding, and in this movie, they did a lot of 360 shots. Right? But there was like 3 or 4 key moments where it was just like them standing around and posing, even when crap was going to hell.
You know, it's funny too, because I actually think this movie had a lot of good like shots.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
I'm not saying other Marvel movies don't, but there was like this cool shot where they're in a space battle or something, right? And there's these like things that are being remote controlled. So imagine somebody's looking at almost like a video game screen, but they're like in space battling. The camera like zooms into the screen and then it goes into like actual space. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's cool. Like I don't know. Sometimes you're watching a movie and you forget that like
you're watching a movie.
You forget that people have these tools to make it look really like artistic, basically. Right. You know, or that scene where Yondu is killing people with his dart.
Oh, I love that scene.
There's a scene where like the lights go out and you just see the red line going around. I was like,
okay, well, spoilers, just in case, you know, I don't know how far we're going to get.
Sure, we'll start spoilers now.
That part with Yondu killing people, like, that music selection is fantastic.
That whole scene was like, dude, this is badass.
Because Yondu's little arrow, if anybody remembers from the first one, like it's super fast. It's like almost like a light beam.
Yeah.
But it's like this little arrow that he controls with the fin that's on his head. And, like, there's a scene where he's just walking around killing people because he's just badass. And the music selection for that is great. They and it stops abruptly too.
You know what? Too, I'm not always a fan of like the ironic kind of, because I feel like it's kind of played out, especially in trailers. It's like, oh, okay, you're gonna play like a Christmas song, and people are getting killed by the mafia, or like even that whole like
whole dramatic thing. Everything's in slow motion.
I think there's a Frank West trailer for like there's a Dead Rising trailer or something where Frank West is killing zombies and there's Christmas songs playing. I know that exists somewhere, and it's just like that, like video games do not shy away from that either. Is what I'm saying. Like
no, but it's overused.
Right. So in this movie, I was actually like, okay, I dig this. It works with them because it's more like in tune with the theme of the movie.
Yeah.
As opposed to just some cliche, you know, like But that scene in general, man, like there's a lot of cool shots. Rocky Raccoon shoots through like a door when he's looking at the security camera, remember?
Yeah, I think they utilized Rocket way better in this one.
Yeah, and Yondu's looking at the security cameras and he makes his dart like fly through the I was like, man, this is so cool. Like they are totally like they are really using like their cameras correctly.
Yeah, and I like that they did it because remember before, like, this is their big escape part of it. And Yondu in the first one was like a badass, and in the second part he kind of gets brought down,
right,
and captured. But then this is his big moment to escape, and just with him having his arrow back, he's the badass all over again. That's like, so cool.
Yeah, because it's. I think a lot of people will agree that like Yondu in the first movie was like, okay, he was there, but he's a bit forgettable. This movie gave him the opportunity to like build as a character with like real personality, and
they did it.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying is like smart decision making it so that like Rocket and him end up in that cell with Groot too, right?
No, Groot comes along later, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like splitting up the team so that they can all have their own little like moments almost like Avengers.
Yeah.
You remember how like people were just like, how are they going to do an Avengers movie with all these fucking heroes?
And they kind of pair them off.
And they kind of pair them off, and they all seem to work in like any kind of combination. So I was really happy to see that. You know, like with the like you were saying with the exclusion of like maybe Drax.
But no, Drax. See, I even like those scenes with Drax because Drax has become the unintentional humor of the movie,
right?
Because he's just
matter
blatant.
of fact, yeah.
He's very blatant, and that's funny to a point. But like, I was gonna get tired of that pretty soon. I was like, dude, this better not be Drax's shtick. He just says the obvious, and it's really embarrassing for everybody.
It is, but they don't really overuse it. Right?
No, they use it twice, but they use it twice for effect. Like there's a reason he's using it. You know what I mean?
And like I was saying, like the humor in this movie was actually something that I was like, okay, it's pretty funny. It's not. Yeah. It's not just like Marvel's humor of like language. Tony Stark, so yeah, you know, I'm good, and you're kind of snarky or whatever. You know, like it was actually like okay. I could see these weirdos, like, they actually are in character. And,
and that's what I think speaks volumes of, no pun intended, it speaks volumes about this movie. These are space aliens, but you give a lot, like...
You care about them.
You care about them so much throughout the movie. And I'm like, this is like... There's a CGI character. Completely CGI character. Rocket is a CGI character. And I'm like, I'm getting all choked up over his scene.
So is it... Was it Bradley Cooper? Am I correct?
Yeah, Bradley Cooper. Wait. Oh yeah, Bradley Cooper because Vin Diesel is Groot.
He does a voice or something?
Yeah, he does a voice for Rocket.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I like to see. Like when I hear that Ray Romano is playing a mammoth, I don't want to hear Ray Romano. I want to hear like a funky voice, you know?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, and I was like I didn't know it was Bradley Cooper to begin with. I learned about that later and I was like, wow. Like, hey, good job. I didn't know that was...
I didn't really know it was... I totally forgot it was him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the point of it, right?
But you think, like, for example...
Okay, real fast, just so I can drive that point home. When you do a voice, like, for a character like that, it's good to make the audience forget that it's a certain famous actor. Mostly because, like, I always remember when I watched Ice Age when I was a kid, Queen Latifah... and Ray Romano play these mammoths in the second one. Mm-hmm. And it as a kid, in my head, I was always thinking, like, so Ray Romano is going to fall in love with Queen Latifah. And, like, those, you know, like, those actors don't really look like a good couple necessarily, right?
I guess not.
But, like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I think a job of the voice actors should be to, like, to make this illusion that you're different characters, not just... actors reading off of a... I mean, you know, if you can't do a voice, you can't do a voice. But, like, even, like, John Leguizamo in that movie...
You forget it's him.
Yeah, exactly. He does a fucking voice. That's all I wanted to say about that. You know, because...
You know, just as a funny thing that happened to me, Steven and I were talking... I don't know why we were talking about voice acting, but then he threw me for a loop when we were talking about Rowan Atkinson.
Oh, yeah.
And how... he does a lot of silent roles, but like I was like, oh no, he did a lot of stuff.
Mr. Bean, that's
Mr. Bean, that's his whole like that's what he's most famous for. But I was telling him, he does a lot of great stuff. Like Blackadder's probably what he's most famous for in England. But then you were like, and the Lion King. I was like, what are you talking about, the Lion King? And you're like, he plays Zazu, and I was like, what? I actually had to look it up because I thought Steve was messing with me, and he played Zazu. So that voice, that bird, I never put together that it was Mr. Bean.
So there you go.
That's another point to drive home right there. I think one of the great things about this movie in particular too is the fact that it carries a lot of humor along with a lot of
emotion.
But it's like, okay, I'm gonna compare it to this movie, not because they have anything similar, only because they try to push the same themes.
Okay, go for it.
But for example, like Fast and the Furious.
All right.
Like, one thing that's always funny to do is whenever you do your Vin Diesel impression, you always say, it's about family. Okay. You know? Because they try to hammer that home so much that it gets, like, ridiculous. And he says it too much. And he's always like, well, there you go. But in this one, I don't know how many times they said family, but I think it was just maybe once. But that's what the driving theme is. It's family.
That's what
and what it means to each person.
That's what's really good about this movie is like the theming of it. I guess it all stays really true to itself, basically. Because like they all have kind of like family issues or whatever, and then at the end they learn that family is us together or whatever, right? I don't know. I thought that was cool just because like you have Chris Pratt with his dad.
Yeah,
that going on, and then Gamora with her sister. I guess you could argue that her name is Nebula. I think.
Yeah.
Her parts are maybe like shoehorned in.
No, they were. I wouldn't consider them shoehorned if you watched both movies.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I almost feel like Nebula was their kind of cinematic universe tie-in.
Yeah.
Because she's Thanos' daughter or something, right?
They're both Thanos' daughter.
Which I didn't know. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to use that later to connect. But I still like those parts, too. I wouldn't say they were bad. I thought she looked pretty cool. She had all sorts of crazy crap on her face. And
she explains why. She has all that crazy crap on her face.
Yeah, and I I could, sibling rivalry. I have siblings.
But that's what the cool thing about this movie is, that the theming is family, and they explore all types of family, blood related, but also like family that you make on your own, and then what it means to each individual person, and
even adopted, with Chris Pratt and Yondu, so that's cool. I actually really like how that tied together. Like Yondu was a character that like I said, I didn't even think I would like him, but towards the end I was just like, wow. What a noble dude, like he actually turned out to be somebody I really liked, and that whole like scene with his funeral at the end was like very
major spoilers.
Yeah,
that scene at the end with the funeral was really like just again they're showing off like their theme, and like that it's just a bunch of fireworks, and yet you're getting so emotionally like charged for this whole scene. It's just like a lot of fireworks.
That's another thing too. I was like, I didn't think it would be this emotional of a movie, basically, because it's just these like criminals, basically. Because, but even right there at the end, there's a fucking his ashes turn into like his dart or his arrow,
and they take off.
Like, it's like, wow, look at that! Like nice imagery there, and like colors and all this.
And then they have that weird scene with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, they have like 4 or 5 like after credit scenes.
Yeah,
which was a little bit strange, but okay. If you're gonna do that instead of like having some big tie-in at the end of the credits, then I'm down for that instead. Like
I thought it was kind of neat that they went into the whole Groot thing, because like that's just an ongoing thread.
That part was pretty funny. Supposedly Groot's gonna be that age in Infinity War.
It's kind of cool.
He's gonna be like a teenager or whatever.
Yeah.
That part was pretty funny. I don't read any of the comic books or anything like that, so I don't know Sylvester Stallone's crew. Like
I don't know about that either.
I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be.
But if you're telling me that, like, because, okay, so, as I understand it, this next set of movies, Infinity War, which is, I think, part 1 and 2 with Thanos.
Yeah.
This ends the current cinematic universe with, like, Iron Man, Captain America, all these different people. So they're setting up to relinquish it to the next series of people. And I think that's the part that they're trying to set up in these movies right now, where they're having like secondary characters take over. You know what I mean?
I didn't even want to think about that, but are you telling me that like Captain America's gonna die or something? Or?
No, what I mean is that they're gonna stop focusing on those characters, because it's like their stories are over.
Okay.
And they go their separate ways, or like Tony stops being Iron Man, blah blah blah. Things like that could happen, but that's what I understand is that happens. As soon as the Infinity War stuff ends, like Chris Evans' contract is done with Captain America.
Well, that's what I was wondering is Disney, do they see like an end in the foreseeable future for these movies?
Yeah, they do.
Or are they just going to keep going?
No. Infinity War is definitely the end of the Avengers series. And then that's what I'm thinking is like they're starting to plant all these seeds so that they can go into a new expanded universe. So, for example, they teased Howard the Duck in the first Guardian, and they teased him again in this one. And they also teased, Sylvester Stallone. He's like, I got my own crew.
Yeah.
We're going to go steal some, steal some stuff. But even, like, for example, in the Marvel Universe, you got these secondary characters that are coming up, like Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like, he can go and do his own thing with Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is a projection. I don't know if this is gonna be it, but like Bucky ends up taking over for Captain America in the comic books.
So maybe he'll do that in the.
So maybe he'll do that, and he'll be like the new Avengers.
Okay.
So this could be it, and like for example, like all these different things need to start. Like for example, according to Infinity War, like all these different characters are gonna come in.
Yeah,
like,
no, I get
Doctor
you.
Strange is gonna show up, and all these different things.
I have no idea how that movie's gonna fucking work, but they've done a good job so far. So we'll see what happens.
Can I just say one thing about that?
You can say whatever you want, Ernie.
Thanos looks stupid. I didn't watch the Infinity War trailer, but as most people know, if you're on your Twitter, things will just pop into your feed.
Oh yeah,
like you don't have to watch the trailer. But then I saw Thanos' face, and I was like, he looked cool before. I don't know what happened. Like there's a scene where he's like outside, and he looks really pale orange, but his face looks super tiny, and his head looks super huge. He doesn't have his
helmet on. That's the picture.
Is that it?
I don't know. I honestly
but
don't know.
He looks really stupid.
I mean, I just want to watch the movie. That's always my deal with these like fucking like these trailers and things. Like I haven't watched a trailer for Star Wars. I just want to watch the movie. I don't really.
Dude, that comes out this week.
Does
and I'm just like, yeah, it comes out. It's on Thursday or Friday. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night.
Wow. Yeah.
And all we're gonna hear is like, it's Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Did you happen to watch the Nerd Crew?
I didn't because it said. I love Red Letter Media's Nerd Crew videos, but I don't want to watch any of them because they have Star Wars like stuff in them.
So in the video they say that it's spoilers or whatever, and they say some stuff. I don't think it's true.
Okay, well,
because they said it in a way
just to
that's
be
just
safe.
Like,
I'm just not gonna watch.
At one point, like Jake goes, "I'm dead inside," and they go, "Ha ha ha."
That's funny. I mean, it's just. I get it. Like the whole nerd culture stuff is like very.
It's imploding.
It's so played out, and like now that it's like they said, it's like now that it's financially viable, all these people are gonna hop on the bandwagon and try and make money off of it. You gotta understand, me and Ernie live in a place where there's not nerdy shit within miles of us. Like, the people do not care about anything other than sports around here. So,
yeah.
Well, we see a Marvel movie on Netflix, we watch it basically.
Yeah, for sure. What was I gonna say? Just as a side note, I heard this might be unconfirmed, but I heard that the latest DC movie, which is Justice League? Yeah, Justice League came out, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to make as much money as the previous movie. So it's like it's not going to make as much money as Batman vs Superman. Which is like, but it cost more.
So it's not going to make, or it didn't make already.
It's not going to make because you could tell how much a movie's going to make, and then there's kind of a slope going down. So unless there's a significant spike, which there probably won't be, it's not going to make as much money as it's projected
unless
to make.
Ben Affleck dies tomorrow.
Wow.
Then...
Okay, that's really dark.
Dark Knight.
And by the way, now I see pictures of things that are released now. Like, for example, they have cereals and all this kind of stuff of the Justice League. Okay. All of them have Superman's face on them. Yeah. I was like, they waited until the day after. They're like, by the way, Superman's back. And I'm like, oh, jeez.
You know what? You and me were joking about this the other day, but maybe we might do it. We always see Suicide Squad like for really cheap at Target, and we're like, you know what?
We should buy it.
We should just buy it and watch it and see if it's like see how bad it is, basically. I mean, I don't know. We might do that.
I've seen certain selects from it, and it looks really stupid.
All I saw were those fucking scenes with Jared Leto. And everyone was saying he's not in the movie yet. Like, he's in it for like 5 minutes or something, so whatever.
All I saw was the two trailers. The first one, which was like dark and like moody, and it was the Suicide Squad and blah, blah, blah. And then I saw the second one where they decided to throw all the color into it. And it was like, it was a famous song. I can't remember it now.
Well, it was like, okay, they have the dark and dreary trailer, and then Guardians of the Galaxy comes out, and all of a sudden Suicide Squad has music and like colorful,
so much music,
colorful visuals, and they have the Beatles.
We're the Suicide Squad.
They have Come Together.
Oh yeah,
remember?
That's right, Come Together. Yeah, that's right. Oh God, so heavy-handed. But we gotta watch it just so we can see how bad it actually is. Because I've heard that it's a cinematic mess and it's a story mess. So I'm more interested in how bad the cinematography is.
You're talking about Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard something a little bit similar with Justice League because Joss Whedon had to come in and do reshoots after Zack Snyder's initial shoots were done.
And they had that whole mustache thing.
Yeah, and they had that whole, that guy that plays Superman had to get his lip CG'd because he didn't want to shave his mustache. He had it He had it for another movie, right?
Yeah, and they told him, F your movie, where he's contractually obligated to keep this mustache for my movie.
How fucked up is that? That is just like I don't know if it was like the actor or the company, but one of them did not believe in the Justice League's success, and they said, hell no, you're not going to shave that mustache off just for the Justice League, basically.
Well, it was in my heart of hearts, I want to believe somebody's like, oh, the Justice League, huh? You're spending how much on your money? It's like, F you. He can't shave that mustache because of my contract, kind of sticking it to the big guys.
Jeez.
Because I believe the other movie he was doing was way, like, had a way lower budget.
Probably. Like, no offense to that guy, but what does he do besides Man of Steel?
Well, he did a movie a while back where he was like a secret agent. Okay. I think it's Mask. I think it was Mask. No, something like that.
Cartoon from the 80s?
No. It was. I know I'm screwing it up, but it's this movie where he plays. He has a partner and they're secret agents. But it's from an old school. It's from an old school spy TV show. Okay. Yeah, so he's done some stuff. He's not like, All
right, arguably. I mean, I'm just saying that because I haven't seen him in anything, but whatever.
Maybe because he's just so iconic as Superman.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, just because we're pretty busy, like I said. But what are your final thoughts, Ernie, on Guardians of the Galaxy?
On Guardians of the Galaxy, I was so pleasantly surprised about that movie.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. That's a good way of putting it. I went in expecting basically nothing, and I came out like very emotional and very attached to these characters.
And I gotta say, also Chris Pratt, just phenomenal in this role.
I thought he was. It's funny because like I gotta watch the first one again. Maybe I'm just crazy, but like this movie was. I was really like, dude, this guy's really playing this character very fucking well. Humor and like even like him as a leader like looks good in this movie. He was born to play this role, because
maybe I'm just projecting, but it feels like he's playing a Han Solo type of character. But I love him playing Han Solo.
But he's still Andy Dwyer. Like he still has
somewhat, because Andy Dwyer was naive.
That's what I'm saying. He still kind of has that whole like, that's not stupid, but he still kind of has like that naive charm about him.
I guess it's, but I feel like Peter Quill is one of those characters where he's good at the things that he does, but he's bad at like life stuff. You know what I mean? Like responsibility, love, holding on to friendships, all that kind of stuff. Like these things don't come easy to him because of his kind of background. But all the other stuff like shooting and flying, and he's got that down, which is why he's Star-Lord or whatever. Which, by the way, I love that they don't overuse.
They don't even call it.
They call him Star-Lord once in the movie, and his father's who mentions that. They're like, "Oh, Star-Lord." Okay. But
you know what I noticed too? They don't really use his mask a lot. His mask is on in like the first scene and like some of the last ones. Yeah. But that was something else that I was like, I think his mask looks pretty badass.
Yeah, it does. I like it.
And it was kind of underused. I don't know if that's kind of like they have like a Thor thing going on. I know Thor, they don't like him to have his helmet on. That's why in the Avengers he like doesn't even have it, right?
Yeah, because it obscures his face.
Yeah, it's something about obscuring the face.
Yeah, because you're paying all this money to have this AAA actor. So you want to show his face,
I guess that's true. Yeah.
People make all that kind of decisions like that all the time. Like in Ghostbusters, the reason like Winston shows up halfway through the movie is because they're like, you're paying for Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, really? Is that
true? They're like, you're gonna have them in half the movie. You're not gonna give all these dialogues to this new actor, and so it's like that's why, I remember this story about like Ernie Hudson was really mad because like there was this big billboard in Times Square or something that had the three of them but not him.
He wasn't on anything. Yeah, I heard he wasn't on any of the promotional materials. It was just
he wasn't on a lot of them. I don't know if he wasn't on any of them. But it's like, you got to make that decision. You're paying so much money for these actors. Don't hide their face. Which is why I think they developed that Iron Man thing where it's like the inside of his helmet. Because you're paying all this money for Robert Downey Jr. And all of a sudden you don't have him because he's wearing the mask. It's like, you got to find a way to show the mask. And he's like, well, we could put him inside like his head kind of thing. I was like, okay, that works.
I wonder how they film that kind of stuff.
Which is why Captain America doesn't wear his helmet a lot of the time either.
He does, though. I would say that he wears it the most.
He wears it the most in the first movie.
Out of anybody who has like maybe Iron Man too. I don't know. Okay, we're getting off track here. We're supposed to wrap this up.
This always happens. We try to wrap things up, but then we have more to say.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for this week, guys. I hope you have we're not going on vacation yet, but holidays are coming up. So
no, yes, but be careful out there. Don't get trampled in the holiday stampede.
Strap down your lights if you have those lights that shoot into shoot on the front of your house.
Yeah, strap them down because they steal them apparently.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it for this week, guys. See you next week.
See you next week, guys, and happy Star Wars Day. Why you gotta cut that out? It's Star Wars.